Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Thursday, June the 23rd, and welcome to our commentary. Well, we have a couple of reasons to talk about Justice Clarence Thomas today. It is happy number 82 for Justice Thomas. He is 82 years old today, and we wish him a very happy birthday. Justice Thomas is one of my favorites, and I can remember when he first came into the court and the whole story behind that. I'm sure you do as well, the Anita Hill story and all of that he was put through. But he got in, and he's been in the court now since 1991, I believe, and has been an extremely good justice and one of the best writers of opinions in Supreme Court history. So a great judge who turns to 82 today. So happy birthday, Justice Thomas. But we remember Justice Thomas today as well because the opinion that was issued today, and I don't know whether they did this by design or not to actually issue an opinion like this on someone's birthday, a coincidence, or it was done on purpose. Who knows? I'm not going to speculate. But today, Justice Thomas wrote the majority opinion, 6-3 opinion. That means that all six justices, Roberts, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett, all six justices supported this opinion. And it is really the biggest gun rights case in recent history and a further confirmation of the Second Amendment in the U.S. Constitution. Now, we don't have time to get into all the details of the opinion. We're going to try to do that in another video or perhaps a podcast here soon, where we talk to someone who's very familiar with constitutional law and the Second Amendment. So we cannot get into it all right now. But it is, in the opinion of most people, a huge victory for the Second Amendment. And once again, we have the Second Amendment has been confirmed by the Supreme Court, and that is an absolutely wonderful thing to see. Now, there is still one pending decision, and that is the so-called abortion decision, which has to do with the case in Mississippi. I think that's going to come out Friday or Monday, and that's the end of it. All the other decisions have been written, but it's been a very good week. If you're a conservative like me or a constitutionalist like I am, it's been a good week. Not only are you getting this opinion today on the Second Amendment, a couple of days ago you got an opinion on religious freedom and public education, and now, of course, the pending decision on abortion, where I believe quite strongly that it's going to be either 5-4 or 6-3 to overturn Roe v. Wade. Again, overturning Roe v. Wade is not the end of abortion, as people continue to say. People who don't know what they're talking about, they continue to say that it's not the end of abortion. It simply means that abortion goes back to the states, and the people, the legislatures, the voters decide whether or not to have abortion. And what will happen is most of the states that are the so-called blue states will continue to have abortion just like they do now. And most of the so-called red states will have some kind of limitation. There may be a couple of states like Oklahoma and Alabama that restrict abortion, let's say, only in the event of the mother's health. But I think most of the other states are going to have some kind of a window for abortion, whether it's 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 15 weeks, 18 weeks, whatever. And that's what will happen after that decision is issued. But that's coming tomorrow, I believe, or Monday, the abortion opinion. But so far, this Supreme Court has been very good in respecting the Constitution and defending your rights, either for religious freedom and now for the Second Amendment with this particular case. So happy number 82 to Clarence Thomas. And that opinion that he wrote today was historic, absolutely historic for the Supreme Court. I mean, just absolutely historic. I want to read some numbers to you, and then I want you to think what they mean. So I'm going to read some numbers to you. I got to look over here because I wrote them down. 36, 35, 40, 43, 42, 39, 43, 41, 37. So that averages out, I think, to about 39 or 38. What are those numbers? Well, those are the approval ratings of President Biden. Now, if those numbers that I just read, 36, 35, 40, 43, 37, 43, 41, 40. If those numbers were baseball numbers, like for example, if you were a major league hitter and you hit home runs in those numbers, you'd be a pretty good baseball player, probably get in the Hall of Fame. But when you're a president and you have approval ratings like that, the question that has to come is how low can President Biden go? How much lower can he go? Now, there's another one that came out, I believe, that puts him even lower than that, but I have not seen the numbers, so I didn't want to mention it without actually seeing confirmation of the number. But these numbers are horrible. And here's another number that is absolutely horrible: 57% believe or give President Biden, 57% give President Biden a very poor rating on the economy. So almost 6 out of 10 Americans give the president a very poor rating on the economy. And that's where we are, folks. That is where we are right now. We have a president who is not seen by the American people as competent, as doing a good job. And unfortunately, a president who doesn't want to make corrections. That's the other thing that puzzles me. Why wouldn't he want to make corrections? Why wouldn't he have people around him who tell him, maybe we need to do something about those energy policies that you wrote at the beginning of the presidency? Maybe we need to do something about the border, for example. No, he is sticking to all kinds of nonsense about he's going after the oil companies now. Now, I believe he's going to be going to the Middle East to talk to those guys about increasing production, which is kind of silly. Why not increase production in the United States and let the people of the United States make the money? Keep that money here in the United States, and instead of having another country charge 120 or whatever it is for a barrel of oil. So this is a president, and the question again, you have to ask yourself, how much lower can he go? Well, I don't know. He's pretty low right now. I suppose he could drop to 30%. But that's almost, when you get to that level, that makes governing almost impossible. I mean, he's not exactly doing great right now when it comes to governing either. So how low can he go? I don't know, but I don't think he can go much lower until he almost puts himself in a position of irrelevancy in getting anything done. I was thinking about President Biden and comparing his situation right now with some recent economic crises that we've been through. You go back to 80, 81, 82, and that was, of course, the inflation period that led to that terrible 82 recession. A lot of that, I know that President Carter gets a lot of criticism, but a lot of that was related to oil and the fact that the price of oil went up, and that created the inflation. And yes, President Carter didn't exactly do the right thing, but I don't think that he was anywhere as bad is what we're seeing right now with President Biden. Then you go to, let's say, 1991, 1992, when we had, by all accounts, a very mild recession. Now, that recession ended up costing the first President Bush his job. And I always thought that he was, frankly, unfairly criticized because, as I said before, that was a mild recession compared to what we've had since. But he got, nevertheless, he was blamed for it. It didn't help either that Ross Perot was in the race, and Ross Perot ended up with 19% of the vote. That, I think, is what eventually did the first Bush in. But the bottom line is that was a mild recession and one that we came out of. And then, of course, the other one was in 2008. And that was in the fall of 2008, late summer, fall of 2008. And that was that famous housing crash where, the market collapsed with all that bad paper that was out there in the mortgage businesses. So, but those three, obviously you blame the president. That always happens. But in those three, I think that the president was also to some degree a victim of circumstances and not necessarily responsible. Clearly, in the housing crunch of the fall of 2008, I mean, you can criticize President Bush, but a lot of decisions made by the Congress had a lot to do with that happening. But here in 2022, 2021, 2022, what we have is a list of things that have been done, a timeline of decisions that have been made by the Biden administration that have contributed to this. And I think it's the difference. I mean, this is incompetence. This is bad decisions. And to make it worse, You have a president who's not able to adjust. You have a president who can't seem to adjust. A good executive. This is the important quality of a good executive. You make adjustments. You make adjustments. It's like if you're the pilots of an airplane, you've got you have a flight plan, but things are going to change when you're up there 30,000 feet. You got to make some adjustments, maybe go around a storm or whatever to make some adjustments. Well, the president has to do the same thing. A football coach has to make adjustments on the play plan or the playbook. A general has to make adjustments in the plan. Good presidents, good executives make adjustments. They look at the situation and they say, well, this is what we wanted to do, but we got to do it this way now because the circumstances have changed. This administration will not do that. And that is why I think they're getting the kinds of ratings that they're getting from the American people. It's not that the American people want to blame the president 100% because they understand that things are complicated. But when you have a president who will not make adjustments, who will not look at the situation and say, you know what? Yes, I think we need to increase the production of oil. I think we got to get more oil out there so that we can lower the price. Yes, we got to close that border because it's crazy what's happening down there. You have a president that won't make those adjustments. That is why he's getting the kinds of ratings that he's getting, because the American people are looking at what he's doing and they're saying, this is incompetence. This is a man who is ideological or driven or surrounded. I think that's the case here, surrounded by a bunch of ideological people who are not capable of making adjustments given the new reality that we're in. I think that's the case here. I don't think this is so much Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden is being told what to say or what to do by this group of people around him who are very ideological and so on. So that's why he's getting the ratings that he's getting. No other reason. That's why he's getting the ratings that he's getting. By the way, one quick note. I have a post over at the American Thinker today about the new president of Colombia. You may want to check that out. And in that post, I talk about my disappointment with that election, but also more important than that, I'm trusting that the people of Colombia will make a course correction here over the next couple of years and at least limit his ability to get things done. I don't think he's going to be able to do a lot, frankly, because he's making too many promises that he's not going to be able to keep. So my guess is that he's going to find that the country is going to be very disappointed because he cannot keep all these promises that he made. But nevertheless, having Colombia, a wonderful country, a great ally of the United States, having Colombia in the hands of a left-wing leader is not something that I thought would happen, but in fact, it has happened. So check out my article. It's in the American Thinker today, the Thursday morning edition. And I also have a copy of it on my blog as well as my Facebook page. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day, everybody. It's very, very hot here in North Texas. I mean, very, very hot. So stay close to the swimming pool. That's as much as I can tell you. Or don't wear too much. Wear what you need, I guess, if you're going to go out. Don't overdress. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later.